So I know we've been talking about going to these the Archaics channel and read the comments, man, and it's out of control at this point, man. It's like even worse than Matt's, like way worse.
Way worse, bro.
Dude, they're like, I seen one that said you are the prophet. It didn't say you are a prophet, it said you are the prophet. And then another one said you are the, I don't know how to say it, but the Savada Boti or whatever the hell, however the hell you say it.
Yeah.
Oh man, like, bro, and I'm wondering, like, what are these people hearing? Because I'm hearing them say a bunch of bullshit, really.
Well, I'm hearing him say a bunch of bullshit, unfounded bullshit, and at the same time, like, what's funny is like the more he puts out, the more he keeps like contradicting himself, though, and the more like you see like all these loopholes in his whole stick. Yeah.
I've just come to the conclusion that his channel, it's basically just Sons of Anarchy, like mash up with with Reading Rainbow. That's the channel. They're like, oh, he read so many books, so it has to be true if it's from a book.
Well, and I hate that too. I see that. I posted something on that recent Wooden Nickels and A War.
What did you post there on that one?
Well, they went into Flamenco for a little bit. They were talking about Tartaria and trying to track down sources and stuff. So they went. Obviously, Flamenco is one of the big ones because he's the new chronology guy, right? He's the one that a lot of people falsely attribute to, like the mathematician that proved that there's 1,000 missing years out of the timeline and all that stuff. Which, if you read his material, that's like totally not what he's saying. There's definitely parallels between Archaics and Flamenco. Like, he's definitely trying to be the next Flamenco, but like with internet presence, and got a badass Harley, done time and in the big house, but they're really pushing him. But you see how it's the same system. Like, they'll straw man a regular argument, just pick and choose out of all these different kind of chronologies where there's no way anybody can effectively back check anything that you're saying. Like, he rattles off stuff so fast, it just puts people in a trance, and they think that, well, this guy's out. But anyways, what I'm saying is these people keep saying, well, he's read. Even the podcast he did the other day was the guy introduced him, and they had like the actual number of the books that he's read in the last
I saw the very beginning, the intro.
Yeah, it was like, this man has read 1,380. Ancient tomes nobody else has access to. You look at his library is all like fucking Atlantis and fucking New Age fucking stupid bullshit. Ancient Aliens level kind of stuff is all it is. They're all like fresh, brand new, right out of Barnes and Noble. I don't see any ancient manuscripts on this guy's shelf. And why would he have had access to any ancient manuscript in jail? I mean, none of that makes sense, right?
It's very interesting to me to watch it and watch how he creates. First, he does have like an impressive knowledge retention and regurgitation ability. That's impressive. His harem's impressive.
Well,
shout out Archaics.
It's like, I just feel like people are just enamored with his ability to machine gun out these claims and stuff, and then it seems like there's no critical thinking whatsoever. And then, like we said, the people that question it and say like, hey, wait a second,
they attack,
right? Like, let's step back for a second. I mean, you're making a whole lot of claims, right? And a lot of them are complete non sequiturs with each other. The Orpheus program
the Orpheus program
that
called.
He uses to make
let me pull that up, man. So it says here, he has this like program, pattern recognition, event prediction software for personal and business applications. It says it can help you buy, sell, trade, increase advertising, approach a difficult prospect, settle legal disputes, hire good employees, make important announcements, submit a bid, negotiate a contract, expect a development, break an unproductive cycle. So basically he's saying he helped somehow produce this predictive software.
Well, that's what I'm getting at, because I was watching his prophecy playlist or whatever, and he says that he puts information or ask or something. I don't know exactly how it works. And that's why I was trying to figure out what the fuck is he talking about when he says, when we plug this into the Orpheus program, these are the isometric projections that we get out of the Orpheus program. And he he uses these big words that sound like they mean something, but an isometric projection is drawing something in 2D. You know, like taking a 3D object and putting it on paper is an isometric projection. It sounds really super technical and crazy or whatever, but in general, I mean, what are you talking about? You're printing it out or something? It's like there's so much stuff where it's like, what are you talking about? And it just runs with it, and everybody just, whoa,
whoa. Yeah.
But yeah, no. So this Orpheus thing, he has this whole write up like he's selling it, like
yeah, like a subscription or something, maybe, right?
It's a whole, but when you go through it, there's no link to what it is or like what it does or how you access it or any of this kind of stuff. I think I read further on it said something about like he's discovered like vortex math or some shit.
He's adding that to the mix too. He's got all the theories and things in his
right. But he's saying it's not the same vortex math that most people know. But it's not
okay.
That. He says it. His own. It's something different than 369. Damn, she's fine. It's different than that. But yeah, so it seemed like it was paused because now he's had this new revelation, and they got to add it into the software program. And I don't know who this benefactor is. Yeah, I'm starting to think this dude is AIX. Is what I'm saying. I mean, this
Jason?
dude has a whole Jason. He's got this whole.
I think he thinks that, or maybe he doesn't even realize, but that he's AIX. His whole theory is like you're in a simulation that's a 100% exact replica of something on the outside. Maybe even one more level deep, like a simulation in a simulation, right? But
the simulation is an exact representation of whatever reality is. So I mean,
outside, yeah,
outside. So what is it? Even, why does that even matter? What?
Yeah, why would it matter, right?
Right. Well, yeah, he straight out came in. He's like, all these other systems are soulless, godless systems.
Yeah, but meanwhile, yeah, mine.
But my system. But then, like, there's all this subtle gaslighting through the whole thing, and I don't think a lot of people are picking because when you look at his chat, like the chat's not corresponding ever really to what he's talking about. It's just like random spurgs about like random like conspiracy memes from Instagram from like 6 years ago, and like it's just all nonsense. Or they're just like talking like, you know,
they're just like worshiping him is what I read.
Worshiping, right?
Like, oh, you're so great.
Oh, you're so great. Yeah. Nobody's really directly engaging with this stuff. I mean, I guess there is that one channel that did like the whole series, but the Archaics Masterclass or whatever, but there really wasn't any pushback. They just try to clarify things. But I thought it was weird though in that one today, he kind of expounded on the theory more to where now he can say that like it's a simulation in a simulation of a simulation. Like, but then he kind of slipped up too because he said that we're responsible for the simulation.
Well, he was saying something like we're on the outside of the simulation and your like real body outside will level up based on what you do in here or some shit like that.
So you level up out of the simulation and go to the same
it's the same thing. It's the 100% exact same, but on the outside for some reason you need to level up, but here you don't. And then he basically says, he doesn't even hint, he basically says like you're on like some spaceship headed to another galaxy, and it takes so long to get there. You got to run all these simulations with like.
Well, that's what he's saying.
What he's saying, yeah. Like there's like different climates and everything to test us and get us ready for when we get there and all this stuff.
Yeah, right. Because we haven't arrived yet. We're on. That's the point of testing it because we're on a spaceship, but we haven't arrived yet.
This is the most interesting part to me is you're watching a cult form in real time. This is gonna end in Kool-Aid and white sheets and Nikes.
Oh yeah, I guarantee there's gonna be a compound in Texas before the end of the year. The depression in the truther community is spreading like wildfire.
They're the wheels are falling off in real time, man. Also, like in the last, like it seems a very short amount, especially since like the first of the year, but maybe even like the last like 3 months, especially the comments and stuff I'm reading. That's why I like to read those comments so much. It's like a good gauge of the thought process of these people. We're talking about Jason and that Office software, and on the one he'd put up with that other guy, there was a comment that said, "Why not put your camera on landscape so we can see full screen?" And then Jason says, "I'm not tech savvy. I hosted to record this, blah, 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 blah." So this guy's telling you I'm not tech savvy. Meanwhile, he's like creating an entire like AI based on his work and everything like that he wants you to bet your life on it.
That can make predictions for even what it says. It can make like even personal predictions, like for like
yeah.
with
we didn't. I don't think we went hard enough on that. We need to kind of.
No, I think we need to go back to it because it says it can with 88 to 93% accuracy predict any future event.
Yeah. Okay. Here's some of the words he uses to describe this: minimize your business risks. It uses pattern recognition event prediction systems. This is Archaic's Office software we're talking about. It says it's got a core algorithm, holofractal recognition projections, multidimensional spatial recognition filters, MSRF, annular chromatic filter, diurnal projections, geodic you see, you can't even say the shit. That's part of the whole geodic chronometry filter, formerly Phoenix sequence filter, hydrogen spacing angle filter, intradecimal matrix filter, vortex holography filter. It says it can predict and project the most accurate predictions. Basically, he says like, oh, if you need to know when to like hire an employee or any kind of make a move in your business or anything, you can go to this software and it's going to give you a range of dates when it will be favorable for you. No, I think what he's really got behind
here's another one of these hot takes that I have.
I think he's got a magic 8-ball just behind the scenes is what he's got. Maybe he's going to try to make some money on that and dip out or something. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back within the next couple of years, goes back in.
That's kind of my speculation after seeing that today is like, I bet he's trying to get a good basis, and I think that he's going to crowdfund for money to build whatever this Office system is, and probably just dip on it, because obviously it's not possible. I mean, what he's claiming, because you look through the pages and look at like there's all these like stupid algorithms and shit about how it works, and like you're reading off like formerly known as the Phoenix fucking blah 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 or whatever. But the strange thing is, though, just like the term AIX, when you look up AIX, there's actual like products and experiments and shit that's called AIX. There was a John Hopkins AIX, and then there was an AIX that was like literally glasses with screens in them or some shit. Like augmented reality glasses.
Unix operating systems.
But anyway, so the Office too, when you search the Office, there's like a patent in a scientific white paper about an actual thing that is the Office, like the Office device or whatever. It's I don't remember what it is, some kind of predictive. It's like another predictive algorithm or something. But
really?
It's an acronym. So there's an Office acronym, and then there's because he's applying it to the mythological idea. But so he has this technological thing again with like AIX. There's this Office thing, and then there's this real thing that is Office. So I almost wonder if there's some kind of there's some kind of AI crawler or something that's building these scripts for him or something. I don't know. Reading through that technical description of that Office thing, it's like
sounds like mumbo jumbo.
Yeah, technical jargon overload is what it is. Not right. Like he's talking about side fumbling on his lunar wane shaft on his turbo encabulator. Like it's just nonsense. What it all seems like. So come on now. I'm just saying that dude has a swastika on his chest. I just